So this is continuation of the crop rotation and sowing schedule video, and this is the second part. Also, just to let you know, you can find all these spreadsheets, link to these spreadsheets in the about section of every video that I'm putting on YouTube, if you want to have a look. Also, you can find the link to the first part of the series. Okay, so this spreadsheet here is called plants, and it's pretty much like a knowledge base of everything I could find about all the veggies that I will grow. And it looks pretty complicated, you know. It started simple and then I just keep adding new things. So you know, there is a lots of stuff in here. But anyway, let me show you how I divided this spreadsheet. So if we go with the vegetables from the top to the bottom, the first section shows the vegetables that gonna end up in the raised beds. So they will be included in the rotation that will be going on from year to year. These guys here will be grown in back garden and polytunnel only, as well as I might squeeze some of them somewhere in the plot if I find a place, like sweet corn, sunflower, these French beans, but in general they are out of rotation. And these here are herbs, and these will be grown in the smallest raised bed, which is just the side of the strawberries. Okay, so I guess most important column would be fertilizing. So I try to find out which vegetables are most hungry, so they might need a top up of compost or some fertilizer during the growing season. Most of the vegetables are marked as light, so I might need to add anything after adding fertilizer at the beginning of the year. And legumes will not need anything, you know, they should be fine just with regular compost. Also, here you can see the two sections called early sowing and late sowing. So some vegetables, you know, can be grown only early in the season, like for example summer cabbage, in this case derbidae, so it will be grown early. However, then you might have another variety of the cabbage, like late winter here, which will be grown throughout the winter, and the sowing will start from June, right? In some other cases, you can have, like in calabrese, you can plant it early and late, right? So here we have we can start it at March, and then we can start another crop in June. So that's why you have these two sowings. What else? The columns that might not be that obvious are between bio and number of rows bio. So these measurements were taken from the Market Gardener's book, because you know, these were made based on the years of experience. I thought I would reuse them, especially that my beds are exactly the same size as described in this book by Jean-Mathilde Fortier. Anyway, what might be tricky is this modules that you see here. So what that indicates is that, for example, I can grow beetroot separately, and then it's gonna have 3.5 inches between, and I can grow in modules of, let's say, 4. So we're talking about a clump of beetroots, and then I will space these every 12 inches, but still give them 3 rows in the bed. The other, as well, I have also normal spacing, which is kind of regular, that you're gonna find in internet, just for the reference. Also, another column that might not be obvious is pre-count, and this is an idea from Charles Dowding book. Basically, what he's doing is sowing a lot of seeds from the plants which have uneven germination rate, and then just choose the the strongest seedlings and replant them into the modules. However, in my case, because I don't have too many seeds, I might skip this step for brassicas, but I might still use it for lettuces, so we will see. But I think it's a good idea to do it. Also, another column which might not be obvious is filler. So I try to basically find the plants which can be used to avoid bare patch of soil. and also plants which will not mess up the crop rotation. So that's why you can see most of the miscellaneous plants are fillers, because for example I can squeeze lettuce on the legumes bed before even legumes gonna be planted, or between the legumes. So I can sow lettuce, and because it grows so fast, you know, I can then interplant legumes, beans, and by the time the beans gonna grow to some substantial size, I will harvest all the lettuces, right? So that's just the idea, just something that's gonna make the whole sowing, you know, a bit more flexible. As you can see, I even added some brassicas as a filler, because I'm not that concerned with the crop rotation, as I mentioned last video. Also, the seed type indicates if it's hybrid or open pollinated. So I pretty much marked everything that is definitely not open pollinated as hybrid. And in this year I will try to grow only 4, you know, open pollinated plants and save seeds from them, and hopefully it's going to be more and more going forward. Okay, so very quickly, another template is called bed templates, and this is just this shows you all the beds that I have, however this time with exact spacing. So as you can see, the beds are 30 inches wide and they are like 8 meters 70 centimeters long. Also I divided all the beds in 9 sections. All the sections have 1 meter wide, which makes it roughly 40 inches, and this is convenient because then I could just divide them even further and have 10 inches in between. So how I would use this template, right? I would print it out, and then let's say that I want to see how many lettuces I want to squeeze in beds 1 and 2. What I would do then is just start from the left, and I know that lettuces have 10 inches in between, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it gives me 9 times 3, because we're gonna have 3 rows of lettuces in each bed, so it's 27 lettuces in both. So that's what I would use it for, basically just to quickly find out how many vegetables I can squeeze in any bed at any given time. Alright, so congratulations if you guys still watching. You made it to the most important template. Pretty much all previous templates were only so I can make this one, right? And this is the template that tell me exactly what to do and when. So as you can see at the top, I have weekends of each month, and that's because I'm coming to the plot on the weekends. But anyway, let me show you legend so it's a bit easier to understand. So we have S for sowing, P for planting, SD sow directly. HC means harvest continuously, like for example lettuces can be harvested for 3 months if you harvest leaves rather than hearts. Harvest winter means that, you know, like Brussels sprouts for example, will be harvesting throughout the whole winter. Sowing modules, so for example I can sow clump of onions. I can sow 5 onions in one clump, and that's what I call modules. And so you have sowing modules, planting modules. Anyway, going back to the spreadsheet, let's pick at some example. So for example, we have a summer cabbage, and as you can see here, on the second weekend of March, I have something like this. So I have 6 S and 1 G. So it means I'm gonna sow 6 cabbages, and this will be meant for the first section of the bed called G, right? And then after 5 to 6 weeks, in 4th weekend of April, I have again 6. This time I'm gonna plant them. So I will plant them. They will grow as seedlings in the polytunnel, and then I will plant the seedlings to the actual section and the bed. And then roughly after 2 months, as you can see, on the second weekend of July, I again have those 6 cabbages, but this time I'm gonna harvest them. So, and what I like about this sowing schedule is that, as you can see, I give myself 2 weeks to harvest these cabbages, and then I'm already planting. As you can see here, I'm already planting in this bed Chinese cabbage. because Chinese cabbage will be growing throughout the winter. So so you see, that's why I like it, because you can, first of all, I can see exactly what I'm doing all the time, and it allows me to utilize all those beds. So as you can see, each bed is utilized pretty much throughout the whole winter. And here at the end you can see this text in bold and HW, which indicates that this will be harvested throughout the winter, like for example cauliflower autumn giant, or masculine mix, for example, which is rocket, and all the other lettuce, or all the other brassicas. Also, so another example, for example, beetroot. So you can see, for example, here I try to do some successive planting. So I plant 20 of beetroots in the modules. So I have sow module 4, so in modules of 4 in the same bed. So I would, as you can see, bed is called B and the section is 1. So I basically gonna plant half of this section, and then 2 weeks later another half. So yeah, anyway, that's the idea. For plants which are out of rotation, I just indicate where they're supposed to be planted. I don't say where. Of course, with tomatoes, it's a bit different, because, for example, here I have tomatoes and it says PO, which is for polytunnel. So as you can see, I start these tomatoes a bit earlier. I saw them a bit earlier. This BG indicates back garden, so you know they cannot go out as early as the one for polytunnel, because it's gonna be too cold. You know, they have to go in June. And for sunflowers, sweet corn, and so forth, you know, I just roughly tell myself where I should be sown, so then I know that I should do something about it. I should basically find some spot and plant it there, and so forth. So anyway, this is the sowing schedule, and you know, it's we will see how it will work in practice. You know, what I like about it is that I know exactly what to do and when. So you know, with limited time, it's perfect, because I will have loads of time for that I have to spend on weeding, harvesting, any kind of problems that may arise, and also recording videos, right? So at least that helps me organize a bit better. And we will see how it goes in practice. If it works in practice, that's perfect. If not, then I can come up with something else. Alright, so last spreadsheet, guys, I promise, and this will be very quickly. This is harvesting spreadsheet, and very similar to sowing one, but all I'm gonna do with this one is write down how much I harvested each weekend. It might be quantities, kilograms, whatever is gonna fit more to the actual plant that I harvested. And reason for that is just to give me idea how much I grew throughout the season. Maybe then I can compare it with the next season going forward. Anyway, that's gonna be it, guys. As I said, all this stuff is available in internet. You know, if you have any questions, let me know. If any of these will help you or give you idea for your own spreadsheets, that's great. You know, I hope it will be helpful in any way. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you very much for watching again, guys, and I see you on the plot. Take care. Bye.